Massena blue line. He drops it to LaBarge. LaBarge headmans Chilton. Chili goes to Chris Cameron. Cameron takes it across. Here's Cameron busting wide. The shot right on, and Basta gets the first save of the game. Here's Cameron back to LaBarge at the point. He just flips it through the middle. It's knocked down and back out to center ice by the Blue Devils. Dumped right back in by Aaron Barkley. Massena gets onside, and the puck goes in the corner, left side of the net. Bouncing to the blue line, Jason LaBarge flips it high in the air. It bounces into the corner, picked up by Chili. Chili trying to go back to Chris Cameron, knocked away from him by Billy Fox. Stolen away by Chilton in the slot. He drives it. The save made by Basta, who came way out to cut down the angle. And the Blue Devils move it out. Scotty Williams dumps it deep in the Massena zone. I think we're going to have an icing call right there.
Oh, a glorious opportunity for Jason Chilton. He stole the puck from the Ogdensburg player at the top of the circle, lifted his stick, turned and wheeled, and from about 20 feet he uncorked one. But Mike Basta really played it well, aggressively, came way out, and Chile had nothing but paths to shoot at.
Another combination. Trevor Cameron centering Mike Hewlett and Eddie Davis. That's something brand new. It'll be Mike Doe out there with Andy Wright and Greg Coffey off the face. Here's Hewlett. Gaz it poke checked away, comes to center ice. Todd Collins is there. Bangs it ahead and goes into the Ogdensburg zone. Bill Fox back for it. Circles in behind his net. Wraps it around the boards to Andy Wright. Wright has it stolen away by Trevor Cameron. Here's Cameron in the corner. Fox throws him into the boards. Cameron stays with it. Flips it. Here's Hewlett. Side of the net. Right in front to Davis. It's knocked away. And back out to center ice comes Bill Fox. He's going to dump it from the red line. It goes in behind the Massena net. Stopped there by Doug Cullen. Cullen flips it along the boards to Hewlett. Michael turns, has it knocked away, but it's poke check to the blue line. Here's a drive from the point. That's wide by Derek Bateman. The puck rips around the boards, kept in. Oh, Collins throws a big check and steals the puck. It goes off a skate down into the Ogdensburg zone. The recipient was Greg Coffey, and ouch. The puck comes right in on Basta. He's going to cover it up. Coffey got up a little bit slowly from that check. What a great check that was.
I think he heard the bells on that one, Jerry, and as you was, a good solid check. Todd Collins paired with Chris Aldis for tonight's game.
And Aldis, of course, as we mentioned, a real pleasant surprise this year for the Raiders. He's played very, very well. Third line, Adam Morris will be a centerman. He'll be centering Kenny Smith and Mark Tile. Back to the point, the drive and the save by Basta. Bouncing puck comes to the high slot, and the Devils move it out to center ice. Back checking is Adam Morris, and he knocks it away, and Tile picks it up, drops it to Barkley. Barkley headman to Morris. Adam steps by a check. Here he comes across the blue line to Tile. He's going to bust in all by himself, flips it right on, and the save made by Basta as he again came out of his net. He looks pretty good so far.
Yes, he does. He's a good goaltender. There's no question. I think they've been doing some rotation. I'm not sure every other game, but I think Billy Sawyer's probably been tabbed at number one, but Mike Basta not far behind. He's been tested early and often.
Morris will take the face-off. Off the draw, Adam wins it, takes it in front to Tile, but he's knocked down, and the Devils move it out to center ice. Here comes Scotty Williams, and a shot from just inside the blue line, save made by Cullen. Bouncing puck comes to Tile, out to Morris, it goes by him. Here's the foot race. Who's going to get to it? Basta will. He flips it out. Kenny Smith has it, and he fires wide of the open net, and Morris just gets manhandled to the ice by Derek Bateman. There's going to be a penalty. I think they're both going to get it.
Yes, Butch Martin indicating that both Adam Morris and Derek Bateman, a little bit of extracurricular activity to the left of goalie Mike Basta. But that was a race for the puck, and we looked at Kenny Smith and Adam Morris and Bateman all running for it. Who was going to get it? But Mike Bateman made a good move, came out of his net. He was the one to get to it first. Smart move by goaltender Mike Basta.
Well, I'll tell you what, if he hadn't done that, Adam Morris would have been all by himself. Off the face-off, puck goes in the corner. We're skating 4-on-4 plus the goaltenders. Jesse Bow wraps it around the boards. Chris Cameron steps in front of it. Knocked back to the blue line, kept in by Collins. Dumps to an open wing. In the corner, Cameron. Big Cameron steps by one check, by two. Here's Cameron, circling, top of the circle, goes back to the point to Aldis. He's got an hour and a half to shoot. He does. Way out of the net to make the save. But Collins, another save by Basta as he had to come back in. That's the problem when you come way out of the net to make the save. If you can't get back, Collins had an open net to shoot at, and he just didn't get the shot off quick enough. Basta had time to get back and make the save.
Chris Aldis walked in from the point and fired one from 30 feet, and Basta came out, big rebound, and it came right to Todd Collins on the right side. He couldn't get a handle on it. That was his problem. He knew the net was empty. All he had to do was blow it in, but the puck just would not stick on the blade of the stick, and Todd's shaking his head on that one.
Off the face-off, Trevor Cameron out there to take the draw now. Comes to Bill Fox for the Blue Devils. He bangs it out to center ice. Mike Aldis I should say Chris Aldis. I don't know where I got Mike from. Chris Aldis with a puck. Head man to Trevor Cameron. Here comes Trevor with it. Takes it across on the right side, has it swept away there by Bill Fox, and the puck in behind the net picked up by Mike Doe. Stolen away by Eddie Davis. Doe gets it back again, rides it around the boards, comes to Aldis. He tees it up. His shot goes off a leg into the corner, and Bill Fox comes back for it. Fox for the Blue Devils. Headman knocked down, high slot. Here's Eddie Davis with it. He turns it around. Davis steps by the D. Short side shot, the save, and another for it there is Travis Phillips. Doesn't get it out of the zone. Kept in by Adam Morris. The crank, and the shot is high and wide. Puck whistles into the corner. Tayo with it. Flips it for Adam Morris. Morris goes to Kenny Smith. He gets knocked down, and finally the Blue Devils clear it to center ice. Aldis to Collins. Collins dumps it right back in the Ogdensburg zone. We're down to 9:23 remaining. No score in the hockey game on the Peach Jewelers scoreboard. Back to Collins at the point. His shot is high and wide. Whips into the corner around the boards. Coffey is there trying to move it out, but Aldis keeps it in momentarily. Now it's out to center ice. And there's going to be a penalty on Mark Tayo. And what he did was he hooked Coffey as Coffey was going by, so Ogdensburg will have the first power play of the game.
The intensity has picked up. The hitting has picked up. You mentioned Mike Hewlett almost redirecting one in on a great pass from Freddie Kellison. Just redirected it wide. He paid the price in front. He really got railed. And then back just a second ago, Mike Basta must have nightmares because Adam Morris jumped in, and one of those shots that goalies really dread, the ones that jump up on you, and he can really crank at it, but he has that knack of it really jumping up in a hurry, just off the shoulder of Mike Basta.
So Massena with man disadvantage right now. We're down to 9:06 remaining. In period number 1, no score on the Peach Jewelers scoreboard. Massena OFA. Jason Chilton out there to face off against Mike Doe. Off the draw, it comes to Aldis. Aldis out there along with Todd Collins, and it's Cameron up front with Chilton. And it's dumped down the ice by Aldis. It goes in, and Basta stops it. He's going to leave it right there for Bill Fox. Fox with a puck now, looking to move it up on the wing to Andy Wright. Andy skates out of his own zone. Here's Wright with it. Chilton knocks him down. The puck bounces into the Massena zone where Chris Cameron picks it up. Here comes Cameron, circling around behind the net. Cameron dumps it. Down the ice it goes. Whips into the Ogdensburg zone. It's going to wrap around the boards. Chilton in there after. Oh, what a check right there by Chili. The puck eludes him, though. He throws another check, and it's picked up there by Derek Bateman. He dumps it out to center ice. Comes to Collins. Collins drops it to Cameron. Chris Cameron with a puck in behind his own net. Comes out from behind the net. Circles around. Has it knocked away. Gets it back again. There's a big pileup of players right at the blue line. We got a whistle, and Cameron is down on the ice. He's getting up. He's okay. But I think there's going to be a penalty on OFA.
Probably hitting from behind, and it looks like it's going to be Mike Doe. It's going to get the and it's going to be hitting from behind. He railed Chris Cameron right along the boards. Chris was trying to waste a little time just inside the blue line, and Mike Doe came across and hit him from behind.
Did you ever notice how much Bobby Preston looks like Randy Burlingame?
Yeah, yes, he does.
Yeah.
Is RB on the board tonight?
No, Dave.
Oh, Dave's on the board.
The other Dave.
The other Dave.
Yes. Off the face-off. It's 4-on-4 now. The puck in the Massena zone. Cullen stops it and leaves it for Barkley, who wraps it around the boards to Adam Morris. He just pokes it, has it knocked away, but Jason LaBarge follows. Here's LaBarge, stick handling out to center ice. LaBarge takes it across the blue line. He's going to drop it right there for Adam. Adam back to the point to Barkley. Barkley, oh, he tried to get Kellison, but it was deflected, or Cameron rather. Cameron right in front to Morris. Wide open net, he flips it in. And Massena scores their first goal of the game. Adam Morris gets the goal from Trevor Cameron, and I think possibly Jason LaBarge as well will pick up an assist.
Oh, as a coach, you know, you shake your head about that. Mike Basta, as he looked up, what he saw were 2 white shirts and 1 blue shirt, but the 1 blue shirt was the furthest away. Adam Morris made a just got him down, and it was 1-on-none and backhand, a little one back. But the great play was the pass that was intercepted. Who was the?
It was Trevor Cameron.
Trevor Cameron.
Yeah.
Trevor, yeah, okay. If I just momentarily got a number block there. Trevor did a great job of keeping it in the zone, and he looked up and he saw Adam Morris all alone in front of Mike Basta. Just beautiful pass, and Adam did the rest.
And it's 1-0 on the Peach scoreboard. Here's Chris Cameron. Massena on the power play now. And they control the puck And we've got something to talk about here in a minute when we have a break. But right now it's Chris Cameron busting in the zone. Here's Cameron going wide, centering it right in front. Nobody there from Massena, as picked up by Scotty Williams, and he stick handles out to center ice and loses the puck to Aldis, who drops it back to Barkley. Barkley to Aldis on the wing. Aldis dropping it to Chris Cameron, and here comes Big Chris across the blue line again. Takes it wide, right side in the corner, looking to set up the power play. Moving it to Chilton. Chilton to Barkley. Barkley flips it on the other side. Nice job by Aldis to keep it in the zone. In the corner, Jason Labarge, who's playing a forward on the power play. He goes to Cameron behind the net. Chris wraps it around the boards all the way back to Barkley. Barkley, oh, he's got a shot, deflected just wide, rebound in front, and Chris Cameron picks up the rebound and pops it in the net, and it's 2-0 for the Massena Red Raiders.
That was just dominating forechecking in the zone. The Raiders just completely dominated. They got the puck back to Aaron Barkley, and he unleashed a big cannon from the point, and Mike Basta made the save, but the rebound got behind him, and Chris Cameron, coming out of the left corner, just picked it up, and he was one on none. There was no one there. We mentioned, or you talked about how Basta comes out, and he came out to make the save, and he was probably 10 feet out, and Chris Cameron put it in the empty net.
And it's 2-0 on the Peach Jewelers scoreboard. What I was about to say, Dave, is Basta's almost gotten caught out a couple of times. In that first goal, he did get caught out, and he got caught out again right there. So it's 2-0 Massena, and the Raiders score a power play goal. After it is Hewlett. Hewlett flips it in the corner, gets by the check. It comes to Frank Barr. He rips it to the blue line, doesn't get it out. Now it comes out to center ice, and it's controlled by Todd Manning to Trevor Cameron. Oh, big check there. Cameron goes down, but the puck stays in the zone. Mike Hewlett drops it to the point to Collins. Collins to Manning. Manning, sharp angle shot. He fires it wide around the boards. It's Collins pitching in the corner. And he flips it right in front. It bounces back to the blue line. Manning, his shot is blocked, and down the ice it goes. Doug Cullen will come way out of his net to play it. Back out to center ice, and Mike Hewlett. Hewlett flips it in the corner again. Picking it up there is Bateman. Bateman moving it out to center ice to Andy Wright. Oh, Collins just nailed him. And we have a whistle, an icing call against Ogdensburg. And not only did Andy Wright iced the puck, but he ended up on his backside when Todd Collins nailed him.
Well, that was a stiff check by Todd Collins. That was a payback for the one that Derek Bateman leveled on Trevor Cameron. Those two have a little something going here early on in the first period. I hate to see what it's going to get like by the third period. Number 22, Mr. Bateman, is looking to hit everything that was wearing a white shirt.
Oh, nice move right in front, Morris, and a nice save by Basta on a beautiful pass by Mark Tayo. Here comes Kenny Smith in the slot. His shot, the bouncing save, comes to Tayo. His shot, he gets another chance and scores! Mark Tayo, 3-0. And again, it was just perseverance by Tayo, and he got 2 or 3 chances and finally scored on the third one.
Again, Mike Basta cut out a little far. He's definitely out too far. Those the same scenario of the 3 goals. It's a rebound, and they look up, and they've got nothing but empty net because the goaltender and his aggressiveness is out a little too far. And boy, oh boy, the Raiders have struck for 3 here in a hurry. The first one, we'll get the time in a second.
That's been the hallmark of this Massena team, though, all year long, is they strike in a hurry. Off the face-off, puck goes back in the Massena zone, bounces right in the slot, but is clear to the blue line, and out to center ice, dumped back in. I guess it didn't make it to center, as Massena tried to control it in the corner. It comes to Travis Phillips. He's ridden off the play. Mark Tayo, headman to Adam Morris, has it swept away. Back to the Massena blue line, and back in the zone it goes. Here's a sharp angle shot. Cullen makes the save. The bouncing puck comes to Adam Morris. Morris, headman to Tayo. Tayo looking for Kenny Smith. Here comes Kenny, chasing it down in the corner, and he's all by himself. His teammates deserted him on a line change. And now OFA dumps the puck back down the ice. It comes to Todd Collins at the Massena blue line. Collins to Aldis. Aldis, long headman to Kellison. Here comes Freddie, but Basta's out of his net. Makes the save. He's down. Here's a shot by Chilton, and the defenseman makes the save. That was Jesse Val. That's Mike Nicholas's grandson, who made the save for Mike Basta, who came way out of his net, and again he almost got burned, David.
Oh, yeah. young Mr. Bass is going to have a long evening. You want to be aggressive, but he's a little over-aggressive. And you mentioned that was a wide-open net for Jason Chilton from 20 feet out. The goaltender wasn't. He had vacated the premises, and Jesse Vow made the save with the blade of, or with the shaft of his stick. Those 3 goals, Raider goals, Jerry, coming in 2 minutes and 10 seconds.
I want to take a moment here to say hello to Joe Carroll tonight. We understand Joe's listening in on the radio. Decided it was a little bit too snowy to come out tonight, so Joe and Mrs. Carroll are home listening to the game. We're glad to have you along tonight.
What a hockey fan and what a knowledgeable hockey fan Joe is.
So we got to do our best tonight, Dave.
Yes, we do.
Because he'll know if we make a mistake. Here's Jason Chilton in the corner to Chris Cameron in front. His shot, the kick save made by Mike Basta. And here come the Blue Devils breaking out of the zone. They dump it in the Massena zone, and Todd Collins is there. He rides it around the boards for big Chris Cameron. Oh, Cameron gets checked, and Collins rechecks, and the puck comes bouncing free, and Chris Cameron picks it up. Cameron centering it. Freddie Kellison to Chilton. We have a whistle behind the play, and I think we're going to have penalties. Matching minors for Todd Collins, and for OFA, I think that's Scott McCarthy.
Scott McCarthy or Mike Doe.
It's Greg Coffey. Excuse me. And, of course, Butch Martin, a very, very experienced official, and he is going to make sure that he keeps control of this game.
Well, and it looks out here, you can read it, that these two clubs, right in this first period, take away the first minute and a half, there weren't many checks. But since then, both teams have been throwing haymakers from the floor, especially number 22 for the Derek Bateman for OFA. He's been trying to hit everything in sight. He disregards the puck, even if it's at his feet, and looks for somebody to hit.
So 4-on-4 plus the goaltenders here with 3:54 remaining in the first period. And on the Peach Jewelers scoreboard, it is 3-0 Massena. Off the face, back to the point. Bateman gets a shot off. He fires it high and wide. Puck rips into the corner. Going after it is Travis Phillips. Back to the point. Back in the corner to Phillips, goes by him, and Jason Labarge wraps it around for Aaron Barkley. Nice little bit of teamwork right there. And Barkley flips it ahead for Trevor Cameron. Cameron goes by the defenseman, has it knocked away, though. Bouncing puck back out to center ice, picked up by Scotty Williams. Williams, just checked off by a nice back check, Eddie Davis. Good job there. Here comes Trevor Cameron. Crossed the blue line, had to go by a broken stick. Drops it to the point. Labarge, the shot, the save made by Basta. Now it's Trevor Cameron digging it out from behind. He kind of loses his balance, tries to get back up again. He has the puck knocked underneath him. He gets right back up and comes away with it. Trevor Cameron, centering pass in front, knocked away. Labarge picks it up. Here's Jason, stick handling it. He's going to skate. Sharp angle shot, didn't miss by much. It whips back to the point. Barkley cranks it up. His shot, Basta save. Puck in the corner. Davis waved at it. He gets checked and goes down, and the Devils move it out to center ice. Barkley blocks the pass, dumps it right back in the zone, and around the boards it goes. Here's Trevor Cameron. Oh, big check there with Bateman. Massena, Eddie Davis controls the puck, skates in front, the backhand. Kick save made by Basta. Poor Eddie. Bad luck. Nice shot, but a good save. Back to the point is Aldis. He just flips it to the open corner. Bateman is there. He's going to pick it up, and nobody wants to get too near him this time. And down the ice it goes. That'll be an icing call if it gets far enough. No, they wave it off. It's just not going fast enough. And Adam Morris picks up the loose puck and starts it back. Headman Atayo too far. Picked up there by Bill Fox. Flips to the Massena line, but Todd Manning moves in and dumps it in the corner. In after it there is Jesse Bow. Bow circles it around. Kenny Smith gets a stick on it. Centering pass right in front. Poked away at the last second. And out to center ice it goes. 2 minutes remaining. First period. Massena 3. OFA no score on the Peach Jewelers scoreboard. Manning with it to Aldis. Aldis skates it ahead. Bounce pass, knocked down at the blue line. Kenny Smith is jamming for it. He flips to the Ogdensburg zone where Billy Fox picks it up for the Blue Devils. Fox, his pass intercepted. Adam Morris. Morris goes by. Fox tries to stop him. He can't. Here's Adam right in front. The shot. Ooh, just over the crossbar. And again, Basta came way out of the net. Puck in the corner. Bouncing around. Morris is jamming for it along with Jesse Vow. Also in there is Kenny Smith. He comes away with a puck. Here's Smith skating out of trouble. Takes it in behind the net. Has it knocked away. He's taken out of the play by Vow, but in there is Mark Tayo. Tayo with it. He gets tied up. Flipped around the boards. And finally picking it up is Jesse Vow for the Devils. He moves it off a body out to center ice, but Tayo is there, stepping right back across the blue line. He's all by himself. Again, as Massena's going to make a line change, but Mark doesn't care. Finally, he's ridden out of the play, but now Manning is in the corner after the puck. Manning, his pass goes off a skate, and it bounces to the blue line. Kellison, he cranks it up, and Basta makes the save. Puck in the corner. Jesse Bow after it, trying to get it out of the zone, and this time it does crawl across the blue line. Jason LaBarge turning on the Jets, takes it by one. Trying to flip it in the corner. Here's LaBarge with it, in behind the net. Controls, looking. He's got Cameron at the point. No, he's going to keep it himself. Here's LaBarge. Stick handling, finally has it knocked away, and out to center ice comes Scotty Williams. 30 seconds left. His shot from center ice, way wide, comes to Kellison. Kellison ridden into the boards by Williams, comes away with a puck, bounces it to the blue line, kept in. Bateman cranks it up. Oh, giving up the body there was Jason LaBarge to make the block. Puck in the corner, Bateman trying to center it, but Barkley is there to knock it down. Bateman follows up the shot. Cullen makes the save and covers up. That was the best chance the Devils have had in the hockey game, and Massena had a chance to clear and didn't, but Doug Cullen was right where he was supposed to be, and he made the save.
Big save by Dougie, and that opportunity for the Blue Devils was created by a violation of the rules by Ogdensburg, but they got away with it. Aaron Barkley was ready to clear the zone, and they just swept his feet out from under him, and Aaron then coughed up the puck, but normally that would have been a penalty, but Dougie Cullen right there to make the big save.
14 seconds left in the first period on the Peach Jewelers scoreboard, 3-0. After the period, we'll be going back for ABC News and also for an Olympic report from ABC. Bouncing puck comes in the corner. Collins ahead to Eddie Davis. He just pokes it out the center ice. Trevor Cameron, he stick checks it. In the zone it goes. Racing after it is Frank Barr. Barr in the corner as the buzzer sounds. And a Massena first period ends. The Raiders leading it on a score of 3-0. Our broadcast on WMSA. They got to keep going.
That's right, and what's impressive that the combinations that all three forward lines that they're using out here, this is the first time they've been together. None of these combinations have worked together this year, to my knowledge.
They seem to be enjoying themselves out there. And off the face-off, the puck, whoa, broken stick right there. Ogdensburg controls and dumps it in the Massena zone. Off the boards, it comes into the corner. After it there is Williams. He gets knocked down. The puck bouncing along and controlled by Kellison. Bounces to Chris Cameron. Oh, Cameron trying to feed Chili. And Chili couldn't quite get it, so Chris turns it back and starts in the zone himself. Here comes Chris Cameron, breezing by one, by two, has it knocked away at the last second, and the bouncing puck comes to Freddie. Kellison back to Barkley at the point. Aaron does a good job to keep it in, but has it knocked away, and the Berg has a 3-on-2 coming back the other way. Here's Williams with it, gets the shot off, and it's weak, goes into the corner. I don't know if they realized they had a 3-on-2. They certainly didn't play it like they did, and Massena breaks back the other way. 2-on-2. Now 3-on-3. Here's Cameron. He's got Chili trailing. He circles in behind the net, trying to center it. It gets knocked away. He gets it back again, has it knocked away again, bounces in the corner. Chilton after it, throws a check on Bow, but the puck comes to Williams. He flips it out to center ice, to the Massena blue line. Picked up there and dumped in the zone by Terry Axtell. Axtell looks to center it. It goes to Jason LaBarge of Massena. LaBarge headman Eddie Davis by him. No, I guess he touched it. So icing is waved off as the puck whips around the boards into the corner. Val throws a check, but Trevor Cameron's there to pick up the puck. Gets knocked, keeps with it. Shot, save made, Basta. And the puck in the corner. As Cameron came out of the corner, got a good shot off. Puck around the boards to the blue line. Aldis keeps it in. Has it knocked away by Coffey. Aldis keeps it in. No, he didn't keep it in at the point. Offside's the call in Massena. And with 13:27 left in the second period on the Corky scoreboard, Massena continues to lead it 3-0.
What a move by Trevor Cameron coming out of the corner. He beat both OFA defensemen. First he beat Jesse Bow, who tried to trip him up, and then he just gave Mike Doe some kind of move and left him in the corner. Walked right out in front, but Mike Basta made the big save.
Off the face-off, puck dumped right back in the zone. Comes in behind the net. Now Eddie Davis after it in the Ogdensburg end. Is taken out of the play, but it kicks free to Mike Hewlett. Hewlett comes out of the corner now. Stick handles in behind the net again. Has it knocked away. And there to pick it up, the Blue Devils, but they don't clear. Here's Trevor Cameron again in the corner. Cameron looks to center. Here's Cameron circling out from the corner. Right in front, it's knocked away and comes out to center ice. Todd Collins turning at his own blue line. Flips it ahead for Chris Aldis. Aldis to Hewlett, who directs it in the zone. Here's a foot race for it. Frank Barr and Trevor Cameron. Cameron gets there first, wraps it around the boards, but Barr follows up. Davis takes him out of the play. The puck bounces to the blue line and out to center ice. Here comes Mike Doe with it. Going to dump it in the Massena zone. Wraps in the corner for Coffey. He tries to play it, knocked away. It comes to Mike Hewlett. Hewlett, headman to Davis to Cameron. Here comes Trevor. Oh, right by the defenseman. 2-on-1. Trevor Gets the puck in front and fires it wide. Oh, boy, he went right around that defenseman like he wasn't even there. Now the puck slides out to center ice. Chris Aldis plays it ahead for Kenny Smith. Whoops! Trevor Cameron had been knocked down in the corner, and Kenny didn't see him. He took it in the zone, and offsides will be the call.
Trevor Cameron, a great burst of speed. The Raiders cleared the zone, and Trevor Cameron took it on the fly in the neutral zone and busted by Derek Bateman, left him. He was going down the right side, and then he cut to the inside and just undressed Frank Barr. But as he was going across, he tried his patented move that he and brother Chris both like to use, going right to left as they go across. They slide the puck on the ice back to the far goal post, and he just missed by inches.
Oh, no.
Contact?
Trevor lost another contact.
Oh.
I see Gail cringing behind us.
Well, I hope that they have insurance on those.
Oh, it was his mouth guard. She says,
okay.
Great.
All righty.
Between contact lenses and hockey sticks, huh, Gail? Adam Morris out there with his line mates. Off the faceoff. That's Kenny Smith and Mark Tile. The puck comes to the red line, and Jason Labarge just flips it in the corner. Billy Fox after it there. Trying to ride it around, but Adam steps in front, takes it out of the corner. Oh, he lost his edge, gets it back again. Trying to center, it goes to the side of the net. Mark Tile with it. Adam doing a little acrobatics. Here's Tayo, stick handling, has it knocked away. It's picked up by Terry Axtell. He starts it out of the zone. Here's Axtell. His shot and the save made. Rebound, Axtell flips it on again. And Doug Cullen coming up with a couple of saves. And the faceoff will come inside Massena territory. 11:47 remaining in period number 2. The Raiders lead it 3-0 on the Corky's Collision scoreboard.
What we've seen even halfway through the first period and here in the second period are the Raiders defensemen jumping down. They're jumping down into the play, and that can...
Off the faceoff shot, right on. Cullen makes the save. Don't worry about it. Bouncing puck comes into the corner, comes to Adam Morris, and Adam leads the attack. He's got Kenny Smith, feeds him on the break. Here's Smith in on the right side, makes a dandy shift, flips it right in front to Tayo, turns by the D. Here's Tayo right in front to Morris. Can he get the shot off? And nope. Basta comes. Now they flip it just wide in the corner. Basta came out and got a piece of it, but he couldn't hold on to it. Now the bouncing puck comes in the corner again. Flip free in front to Morris, and he deflects it on, but it's a weak shot, and Basta is going to hold on for the faceoff.
Mark Tayo elected to put it out in front to Adam Morris, but Adam was tied up in front like the Ogdensburg defenseman was an octopus. He had him wrapped up. Mark would have been better off to take the short angle shot, Jerry. The point we're making before that the Raider defensemen are jumping down because it's like a frenzy out there, and they're getting caught up in the play, and that could backfire. So I know the coaching staff will probably have to remind them about that. Let's not jump down inside on everything.
Off the faceoff. Puck to the blue line. Aldis keeps it in and dumps it to the open corner. Chris Cameron in after it, left side. Here's Cameron. Circling out of the corner. Back to the point, Aldis. Aldis winds it up. The shot right on the rebound. Cameron jamming at it. Another save. The rebound, he scores. Chris Cameron had 2 opportunities. Basta made a great save on the first one. It came right back on Chris's stick. Nobody cleared him, and he pokes it past Basta, who was out of the play, and Massena goes up 4-0. That's Cameron's second goal of the game, by the way. So Chris Cameron picks up another goal, and Massena leads it on a score of 4-0.
Massena's 4th goal, his second of the evening.
10:59 left in the period. Raiders lead it 4-0 now. And let's see if this holds true to form. Usually when they score one, they score another or 2 more behind them. Off the faceoff, it comes to Aldis. Flips it ahead for Kellison. His pass intercepted, but knocked down by Chilton. Chile stays with it in the corner, has it taken away, but in there is Chris Cameron. We have a whistle, and we're going to have a penalty. And it's going to be a cross-check to Massena.
Jason Chilton's going to pick up the cross-checking penalty, Jerry.
So Chile gets the gate for cross-checking, and Massena will have to kill off a penalty here, leading it 4-0 now on the Chris Cameron goal moments ago.
Time of the penalty, 4 minutes, 19 seconds from the first period.
Let's see. Chris Cameron, Freddie Kellison, Aaron Barkley, and Jason Labarge come out. It'll be Scott Williams out there with his line mates McCarthy and Travis Phillips. Here's Jason Labarge with it. Now he flips it into the Ogdensburg zone. And the Blue Devils start to move it ahead. Bill Fox with it. Fox's headman bounces into the Massena zone. Jason Labarge picks up the puck. Lost his edge, but gets back up again. He's ridden out of the play by Axtell, but the bouncing puck comes to Barkley, who flips ahead to Kellison, who dumps it out to center ice. Derek Bateman is there, flipping it in the zone. in the corner. Stopped by Doug Cullen behind the net. Jason LaBarge. LaBarge stick handles by one. Takes it wide, right side, and dumps it down the ice. Freddie's going to race for it, but Kellison will not get there. It comes right in. And the save, well, not the save, but Basta stops it. Now Chris Cameron picks up the puck on the poke check. Back to the point. Barkley can't keep it in. And it's out to center ice. Offsides will be the call, as Axtell just got a little bit too anxious to come in on the right side. And he crossed before the puck did, and the faceoff will move outside. 40 seconds left in the penalty to Massena, and it's still 4-0 Raiders with 9:51 remaining in period number 2. That penalty going to Jason Chilton for cross-checking at 4:19. Chris Cameron got the Massena goal from Aldis. Chris Aldis picking up the assist. Chris gets his second goal of the game, incidentally. And off the faceoff. Blue Devils still on the power play, but they lose the puck at center ice to Trevor Cameron. Here comes Cameron by one. Has it swept away at the last second, and I mean the last second, and the Devils move it back the other way. Here comes Scotty Williams. He loses the puck just across the blue line, falls down, and Trevor Cameron dumps it down the ice. In the corner now is Bill Fox. He's got Cameron coming in on him, flips it ahead for Bateman. Bateman moves it out to center ice by everybody. Comes to Jason LaBarge at the Massena blue line. LaBarge to Barkley. Barkley's head man, meant for Eddie Davis, bounces over his stick, comes back to the Massena line. In the zone is McDonald. McDonald loses it, gets it back again, flips it in the corner. Penalty is up. We're back to 5-on-5 hockey. Eddie Davis can't control it. Into the slot. Oh, nice move. Here's the shot. Cullen makes the save. Nice move there. And here's Bateman with it. He winds up, but his shot is blocked by Barkley. That was Matt McDonald who made a real nice move and got a good shot on. Mike Hewlett with a puck now in the corner. Has it taken away by McDonald again. He flips it to the point. Here's Bateman's shot. Deflected just wide by Chris Coffey. Back to the point again. Bateman winds up his shot. Deflected wide by Jason LaBarge. LaBarge controls the puck in the corner. Moves it. Doesn't get it out of the zone. Bounces free to Hewlett. Hewlett bounces it all the way down the ice. But it's going to come right in on Basta. And he'll have to make the save, and he's going to cover up. He's got Trevor Cameron. He lost the puck, but the whistle had blown. And we'll have a face-off inside OFA territory.
Best flurry of the game for the Blue Devils. And number 10 for the Blue Devils, Matt McDonald, a good offensive move. In fact, several good offensive moves in the Massena end. He beat two Massena defensemen and really tested Dougie Cullen. And the Blue Devils were putting on some sustained pressure there for about 30 or 40 seconds. Good effort by OFA.
Face-off right side, Massena territory. Adam Morris out there now with Kenny Smith and Mark Tayo to take the draw. And it's going to be Mike Doe out there with Andy Wright and Greg Coffey. Aldis and Collins are at the points. Now coming out to play, here comes Coffey now. They needed another wing out there. So he's out there now. Off the draw, comes right to Smith. Smith goes back to the point to Collins. His drive, right on, and a nice save made through traffic by Basta. Puck around the boards, picked up by Coffey, slides it out to center ice. Tayo almost kept it in, but couldn't. Now he drops it to the Massena blue line. Aldis moves it ahead and dumps it in the Ogdensburg zone. Here's Tayo in the corner after it, kind of over skates, has it go underneath and doesn't know where it is. Adam Morris is in there poking at it. A bouncing puck moved along the boards. It comes to Morris. Morris ridden out of the play, but Collins is there to wind it up, deflect it. Just wide as Kenny Smith was right there, couldn't get a stick on it. Here's Smith, gets knocked down, gets back up again, hits the official with a pass. It bounces into the corner, left side. Collins pinches in, then loses it, and the puck slides out to center ice. Morris had a stick on it, couldn't control it. Here's Aldis with it, stick handling it, flips it in the corner. Greg Coffey is there to pick it up for the Devils. We're about halfway through the hockey game now. Massena leads it 4-0 on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Here's Kenny Smith in front trying to center it. And it's knocked down and dumped down the ice, but not far enough for icing. And Todd Collins comes back to play it for Massena. Here's Collins in behind his own net, starting out left side. Headman pass goes off a stick and just gets outside the zone. Axtell takes it across. Trying to get by Aldis, he can't. Dumps it in the corner. Cullen's way out of his net. He plays it around the boards, and it's flipped. Cullen had to get back in a hurry. Comes to Tayo. Here comes Mark with it, moving it down the ice. And I think that went off. No, it's going to be icing on Massena. Sounded like it went off somebody, but with 6:51 left in the second period, Raiders continue to lead it 4-0 on the Corky's Collision scoreboard.
Talk about getting tattooed and getting a good solid check. Andy Wright really took a 1-2 punch. First Mark Tile drilled him, and then Todd Collins, as he was reeling for that one, stepped in and gave him another spin. So young Mr. Wright is into the game more ways than one.
You know, there's a good crowd here tonight, Dave. I'm kind of surprised. For as bad as the weather is, we've got a nice crowd here. Here comes the puck bouncing to the blue line, and Jason Chilton picks it up. We got a 3-on-2. Here comes Chris Cameron on the right side. He's got Chile trailing, takes it by the D. Basta poke checks it in front and holds on as he had Jason Chilton bearing down on him. And that time his aggressiveness paid off as he came out and poke checked it right off Chris Cameron's stick.
Oh, but what a job Chris Cameron did going around the Ogdensburg defenseman, Frank Barr. Wow, he just left him right there, and only the big save, as you mentioned, the poke check by Basta prevented another Massena goal.
Face off left side now. Williams against Chilton. Chile wins it back to the point. The shot, the rebound. Oh, just wide on Chilton's shot. Just trickled wide. Chile digs it out of the corner. Goes back to Labarge at the point. His shot is way wide. Puck whistles around to Aaron Barkley. He overskates it, and here comes Ogdensburg. Scott McCarthy breaking down the 2-on-1. He's going to drive it. Score! Right over Doug Cullen's shoulder, and Ogdensburg's on the board. Their first goal of the game coming here with 6:15 left in the second period. It's 4-1 for Massena.
That situation came about when the Raider defenseman jumped down. The puck was coming around the dasher. Massena putting all kinds of pressure. As it came around, the Massena defenseman jumped down on the far side. Puck took a weird hop over his stick, and out came the Blue Devils on a 2-on-1. Massena played it well, but McCarthy, number 26, Scott McCarthy, unleashed one from about 45 feet out, and right up over the top on the blocker side of Dougie Cullen. Great shot by Scott McCarthy.
I was about to chastise him for shooting because he had a man wide open, but if it goes in the net, I guess you got to be happy with it.
Well, that's the Blue Devils hadn't gotten on the board. That's their first goal in better than 4.5 periods against Massena. Last time up there, they were shut out, and here for a period and a half, they were shut out. So they're happy, Coach Jimmy Howard, to get on the board with that one.
4-1 the score. Massena leads it on the Corky scoreboard. Trevor Cameron out there now on the face-off. It bounces to center ice and comes to Eddie Davis. Here comes Davis leading the attack. He breaks right in. The shot, the save, the rebound. Hewlett, another save. Trevor Cameron waved at it, and the puck bounced by Axtell out to the blue line. Aaron Barkley is there. He has to wait for his wings to get onside. Big opportunity for Massena there. Went for naught. And OFA dumps the puck down the ice. In the corner, Williams after it there. He's ridden into the boards by Jason Labarge. Eddie Davis picking up the loose puck. Bounces away from him to Barkley. Barkley has it poke checked away. In the corner, throws a check. Axtell and Barkley jamming for it. Barkley kicks it free in behind, and Davis picks it up and rides it around the boards for Trevor Cameron. Here comes Trevor. Headman pass to Mike Hewlett. Hewlett takes it in on the left side. He got a 3-on-2, and he loses the puck. It comes to Jesse Vow, who rides it around the boards. And it comes to Trevor Cameron. Here's Cameron, knocked away from him. Picking it up is Travis Phillips out to center ice. Here's Mike Doe with it. Travis Phillips. Phillips, the shot knocked down in front. It bounces into the corner. And around the boards it goes. Devils trying to center it, and Cullen's going to jump on it. Went off Eddie Davis's leg. It was headed for behind the net, but Cullen says, let's get things organized here, and he covers up for the faceoff.
Eddie Davis, the hard luck guy of the Raiders, doesn't have a lot of goals. He possesses a big shot, good skater. Sometimes when he's got to learn to cut to the net more to give himself more shooting room. Busted in that time and was actually one on the goaltender, and he cut to his left, took his angle away, and Mike Basta came out and took the rest away. So Eddie goes to the net a little bit more. He's going to create better opportunity for himself.
Off the faceoff, puck back to the blue line. Here's a drive. Goes wide into the corner. Aldis with it, flipping it ahead for Trevor Brown. Brown is out there playing a wing, I believe. He goes to Tayo by him in the Ogdensburg zone. Trevor follows up and flips it in the corner for Tayo. Tayo and Bateman. Tayo goes down on the check. It's underneath him, and the whistle blows. And we'll have a face-off in the Ogdensburg end with 4:36 left in the second period. Raiders lead it 4-1 on the Corky's Collision scoreboard.
Raiders jumped out to a 3-0 lead in the first period, and here in the second, each club has knotted one goal apiece.
Off the face-off, Adam Morris won it, but he won it too big, and it goes all the way back into the Massena zone. Chris Aldis back after it. Flips it in the corner for Todd Collins. Collins wraps it around the boards for Trevor Brown. Here comes Trevor starting it out. Looking to headman at Tayo, it's knocked down, and Brown has to come back and get it back again. He flips it ahead for Morris. Tayo follows up. Oh, right by the defense. He's got Adam breaking in all by himself. Nice poke check there. Broke it up. Out to center ice, back in and off sides. But Frank Barr got the stick out just in front of the pass and knocked it down. It was headed for Adam Morris, who was wide open.
The Blue Devils really, if we can say, get discombobulated, Jerry, defensively. They're breaking down all over the place, and it looks like a five-man scramble at times out there. They're breaking down on their assignments and just running around, and it's making it awful easy for the Raider forwards.
Off the face-off, Chilton out there to take the draw. Back to Labarge. Jason in his own end being forechecked by Axtell. Flips it ahead for Chris Cameron, who goes to Chilton. Chilton gets checked out of the play, and picking up the loose puck is Scotty McCarthy. Moving it out to center ice, bounces off a body, and there's Jason Chilton to pick it up. Here's Chilton flipping into Chris Cameron. Cameron in the corner, goes right by the defenseman, takes it right in front. His shot is blocked by the defenseman. Chilton follows. His shot is blocked by the defenseman, and it comes to Axtell, who moves it out to center ice and loses it to Cameron, gets it back again. Here's Axtell with it. Across the blue line in the Massena zone. Drop pass to Williams. Williams taken out of the play by Chilton. Chile follows, finishes his check, and Cameron picks up the puck. Here comes Chris. 3-on-2. Head man to Chile across the blue line. Chilton for Cameron. Behind him, following up, though, is Labarge. He tries to flip it to Cameron. Chris circles back out by the blue line. We have a whistle. And we got an elbow call against somebody. Against Jason Chilton, I believe.
Yeah, and he's telling the official, at least Freddie Kellison is, you missed one on Jesse Vow. Jesse just upended Freddie in front of the net, but the officials did not see that, but they did see Jason Chilton with the elbow, and the Blue Devils are going to go on the power play. It's that scenario that we talked about late in the first period where looking for each other seems to have risen its head again, and the Ogdensburg defense, they're just looking for a white shirt to hit, and what they're doing is leaving themselves wide open. The Raiders are coming down, and they're standing flat-footed, cemented in the ice, and as I say, you and I wouldn't have problems going around them in that situation, Jerry. And only the big goaltending of Mike Basta has kept this at a 4-1 score.
Chris Cameron out there to kill it off along with Freddie Kellison, and we have Collins out there along with Aldous. We have a whistle.
Oh, yeah, this is Chris Cameron is going to go right off the draw. He and number 26, Scott Williams, had some words, and Chris Cameron did some stick work on him, and Williams was knocked down. In fact, his helmet came right off.
Freddie Kellison also picked up a penalty.
Yeah, that was after the whistle had blown. Freddie came along, and he used his stick or his skates to upend the OFA player, and I agree with both of those calls. I think they're both justified. Chris for cross-checking, I'm sure, and Freddie Kellison will go for tripping, but Freddie's was after the fact. He, no question, both calls and both good calls.
That means Ogdensburg will have a two-man advantage for a long time.
For a long time, there'll be a two-man. The second, that third Raider penalty won't start until the first one. The time is elapsed, and we get a whistle out there. So this is a great opportunity for the Blue Devils to get back in this hockey game. We'll see if they take advantage of it.
Now let's see here. We've got Trevor Cameron coming out along with Aaron Barkley and Jason Labarge. It's going to be Scott Williams out there along with Scott McCarthy and Travis Phillips. Off the face-off, puck in the Massena zone. Barkley picks it up there. Steps to the side of the net and wraps it down the ice. He almost got Trevor Cameron with it. Cameron looks back and says, hey, hold it, I'm on your team. And in the zone is the Devils. They move it out to center ice. It's intercepted by Jason Labarge. He flips it back to the blue line. Into the Ogdensburg zone, it's Trevor Cameron. He gets hauled down. Kind of a dive, though. And they don't call it. And OFA breaks back the other way. Into the zone, here's Axtell. His shot, he scores! And he caught Doug Cullen going the wrong way.
He caught Dougie going. Axtell coming in from right to left. Dougie's left to right going across. And he shot it back the other way. A lot on the shot. It was a good shot, perfectly placed, partially screened, and from about 35 feet out. And not only that, but the Raiders are going to pick up another penalty. Trevor Cameron's going to go to the box. So we'll see what happens here. So we're looking down. We had three. One came out on the power play, but Trevor Cameron's back in. And we don't know if it's going to be a misconduct, but that goal pulled the Blue Devils to within two with 2:34 left in the second period.
I think Cameron probably will get the misconduct for saying something, I imagine.
I didn't see the
I didn't
sign.
either.
The Raiders were incensed. You mentioned a dive back here the other way. The Ogdensburg player used the stick to upend the Massena player, and that was one of those 6 of one, half a dozen the other. They could have easily called it, but they elected not to. Bobby Preston standing right there happened 3 feet in front of him, and that kind of incensed the Raider bench. But as we look down, we have the 2 Cameron brothers along with Freddie Kellison cooling their heels in the sin bin.
Scored by number 7.
That's going to be Terry Axtell getting the goal, as we mentioned, unassisted. And Massena's still down 2 men. That'll wipe one of the penalties out, but they're still trying to straighten it around at the bench. Danny Rayom in there by himself, and that's tough when it gets like this.
Here. I don't know if they've made that announcement on Trevor Cameron's penalty yet. Is it a misconduct? Yes, it is.
Yeah, okay. So Massena's still down 2 men for 57 seconds.
Down 2 men, and they lose Trevor Cameron, who, he also kills penalties, plays in the power play. They just cannot afford to do that. You had the Blue Devils right on the edge of the cliff, ready to make that final push, and they'd be gone, but lo and behold, bingo, with 2:34 left in this period. They're right back in it. 2 goals in this period, and that last one coming at the 12:16 mark, Terry Axtell unassisted.
And Massena still has a 2-man disadvantage here. Off the face-off, the puck comes to Bateman. He takes it across, flips it in the corner. Massena zone, in behind the net, it goes to Axtell. Axtell goes back to the point. It goes around the horn. Here's the drive, and deflected right on. The save made. That stick went further than the puck did. He broke his stick. That was, Scotty Williams. But the puck was deflected in front by, I think that was Bateman, who was taking up space in front of the net. He deflected it right on, and Cullen made the save.
The stick probably went 35, 40 feet, or the blade of the stick up in the air, and Dougie had the puck, and the whistle had blown before the blade of the stick came back down to the ice surface.
So now the faceoff will be back in the Massena zone, and Massena makes a change here as Aldis and Collins come out. Adam Morris stays up front to face off against Williams. Bateman now steps back to play the point again. 37 seconds left in the first penalty off the drive. It's Massena clearing it down the ice, Chris Aldis. And Adam Morris did the job. He had to win that faceoff, and he did right to Aldis.
Big draw by Adam Morris.
Now Billy Fox picking up the puck and flipping it ahead. Here's Axtell into the Massena zone now. Axtell takes it across the blue line. Oops, no, he couldn't take it across as one of his guys went in offside. That was McCarthy. Now it goes to Bateman. Bateman to Axtell. His shot. He scores! And it went right by Cullen again. And it's 4-3.
Those 3 goals were almost identical, almost from the same spot, except for location. The last 2 were the lower glove side, and the first one was high to the blocker side. But again, Dougie was not screened on any of them, I don't believe, and the distance was about the same, and good shots, not overpowering, but bingo, 4-3. The Raiders' goal, a big lead has evaporated to 1, and the Blue Devils are really pumped up. And as we look down, still 1 Raider in the penalty box. Well, actually 2, but Trevor Cameron's there with a misconduct.
4-3 the score. Massena leading by only 1 now. In behind the net, Collins gets tied up by Axtell. Puck bounces free. They jam for it. And in the corner it goes again. Wrapped around the boards, comes back to Bateman at the point. He goes over to the other point. And it's bounced right in front, but cleared back to the blue line. Here comes Chili, and we got a 3-on-1 from Massena. Jason Chilton with Aldis and Cameron. To Aldis right in front. His shot, he can't get the shot off as Basta came way out of the net. The puck underneath him, there's going to be a penalty, and I think it's going to go against the Blue Devils. And Aldis is down, and he is hurting a little bit. Now he starts to get up.
Yes, the Raiders with a 3-on-1, and Chris Aldis is still down, and he's trying to get up, but he's on his knees. He's in quite a bit of discomfort. He went into that dasher quite hard. Massena broke out of the pack on a 2-on-1, and Aldis jumped up to make it a 3-on-1 situation. Chris Cameron laid the puck over to Chris Aldis, and Mike Basta, again, that aggressive style came out and just smothered him. Aldis could not get the puck back across the crease to another Raider forward, and a big save by Mike Basta. And it's a major going up against the Blue Devils. Scott Williams is going to pick up a major penalty, so he must have done some stick work.
Yeah, Aldis is holding his mouth, and he's skating off under his own power. He looks like he's going to be okay, but that'll give Massena in 14 seconds of power play, and they will be on the power play for 4 minutes.
That's not only uncalled for, but can you imagine what a time to take a penalty like that, a major? You're back, you're right into the ball game. Coach Jimmy Howard's got to be incensed, and I would be too. And Mr. Williams, when he got to the bench, I'll tell you, it'd be a while before he got another shift out there. That is a really bad penalty to take at this stage of the hockey game. And I think the young man knows that he's hanging his head. He put himself ahead of the team for whatever reason. After the melee in the corner, he wrapped Chris Aldis with his stick.
Face off right side in the Ogdensburg zone. 4-3 Massena leads here with 1:18 left in the second period on the Corky's Collision scoreboard. Chile out there to take the draw. Off the face-off, Chilton trying to get the shot off. Poked away and around the boards. Axtell flips it down the ice. And that's going to come right in on Cullen. He's going to stick it out to Chris Cameron at center ice. Here's Chris turning it around, stepping by the check. Here comes Cameron across the blue line, takes it in the corner. Cameron in behind the net. He and Bateman go together. The puck squirts free to Chilton. Chilton, and Bateman just knocked Cameron down. And the puck in the corner. Cameron throws a check, and Chile in there trying to pick it up. He gets tied up, and the whistle blows, and we'll have a face-off inside the Ogdensburg zone with 48 seconds remaining. Massena's on the power play now, and they lead it 4-3, though. Their lead has diminished quite a bit.
Chris Cameron had Mr. Bateman lined up, all set in his sights, and as he came barreling in to put a real charge on him, and Derek Bateman saw him coming and just dropped right down and put a nice hip check, and Chris Cameron went for a loop. Good check by Derek Bateman.
Face off left side in the Ogdensburg zone. Off the draw, puck in the corner. Controlled by the Devils. They wrap it around the boards. Jason Labarge at the point. Controls in the corner for Morris. Back to Labarge. Jason with it. He winds up his shot. He fired it wide. Whistling puck goes around the other way. Barkley keeps it in the corner to Chile. Back to Barkley at the point. He winds it up. His shot deflected in the net. Chris Cameron, that's Adam Morris getting his second goal of the game, and Massena gets a much-needed goal there to take a 5-3 lead on the power play.
We've talked about big goals, but that was a big one. And again, it started with that big shot from the point by Aaron Barkley, and it was a low boomer, and Adam Morris, standing probably 15 feet out in front of Mike Basta, just redirected it enough, got the blade of the stick on it, a beautiful deflection by Adam Morris, and that is a big goal. Aaron Barkley will pick up one assist, and there could be another one on it, but Adam Morris, beautiful job, and a beautiful shot from the point by Aaron Barkley.
5-3, Massena leads on the Corky scoreboard. And the thing is, Massena will remain on the power play here. That major penalty, they don't get them back.
Boy, we talk about penalties. They hurt Massena, and that one has really hurt the Berg.
2 of the 3 goals that Ogdensburg score, the result of Massena penalties, and now this one, the result of an Ogdensburg major penalty. 15 seconds remaining in the period. Here comes Jason Labarge, building up the head of steam, takes it in the zone. Labarge in the corner now, centers it right in front, deflected wide by Chile. Chilton in behind the net now, trying to dig it out with 4 seconds. Back to the point, Labarge cranks it up, his shot deflected in! Off the buzzer, Adam Morris completes the hat trick, and Massena goes up 6-3, and a great shot by Jason Labarge.
A great shot by Jason Labarge, and it is Adam Morris, I'm sure, on the deflection that's going to get it. The officials talking to Chris Cameron down there, they want to make sure. The red light did come on, the green light... If the clock is expired, the red light cannot come on, but that one did. We saw it. Jason Labarge flipped it from about 55 feet out, and I'm sure it's going to be Adam Morris that redirected that, but we'll wait for the announcement. But 2 big goals late in the period by the Raiders.
And again, that
coached at Potsdam College and was a cousin of the Cameron boys. Jerry Marion played in that club. Jerry's the manager over at Great American. What a hockey player he is. Brian Levine, Frank's son, Gilly Viskovich, Bobby White played on the team, Brucey Service, long line of services who from Massena played hockey. Donnie LeBeff and Stevie Whalen were on the club, and the goaltender was Steve Podgorski. And one of the, a lot of Podgorskis in Massena, and they were all basketball players. Stevie is a hockey player. He must be the black sheep of the family. But it was what an enjoyable treat to see them play, and some good, outstanding hockey.
Okay, Massena's still in the power play, and we're underway here in period number 3. Off the face-off, it comes back in the Massena zone. Aldis is there to ride it around the boards. Comes to Barkley, and Barkley starts it out for Massena. Aaron Barkley's going to headman it to Jason Chilton, who goes to Cameron, who dumps it in the corner. He's going to follow it in himself. No, Jason LaBarge. LaBarge in the corner gets tied up. Cameron comes in to help out. LaBarge has lost his stick, trying to kick it to Cameron. Cameron gets out of there, but it's dumped to the blue line, and Axtell picks it up and moves it out to center ice. Here comes Terry Axtell across the Massena zone, and he loses the puck to Chilton, and Chilton back the other way. Here comes Jason Chilton to Cameron. He directs it right on. Basta makes the save. He's got Chili coming in on him, has to cover up for the faceoff. And with 2:01 left to go in the power play, Massena will have a face-off in the Ogdensburg zone. The Raiders lead at 6-3 on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
You mentioned the penalties. The Raiders taking 5 in a row in that second period, allowing Ogdensburg to get back in. And then the big penalty by McWilliams that allowed the Raiders to slam the door again.
Here's Chris Cameron off the face-off. It goes to Barkley at the point. Decides to go to Chili. Chili gets knocked down, but manages to flip it in the corner to Cameron. Cameron's pass is knocked away, and out to center ice it comes. Here's Barkley with it. Barkley goes to Jason LaBarge. LaBarge flips it in the corner, in behind the net. They jam for it. Chris Cameron. Cameron steps by the check. Centers right in front. They score. What a pass by Cameron Aldis, who had pinched in from the point. And Massena gets their 7th goal on the power play. And this is the 3rd on this particular power play. Cameron, I think he's got eyes in the back of his head, or maybe that was a set play. I don't know, but Aldis came in. He threaded the perfect path. All Aldis had to do was direct it in the net.
Just a great job by Chris Cameron. He wasn't going to be denied behind the net. 2 Ogdensburg players had a shot at him, and he just threw him off like you throw a rag doll, and walked out to the left of Mike Basta. And Chris Aldis, as you said, jumped down into the hole, and he put it right on his stick, and Chris Aldis made no mistake and found that open side.
Off the faceoff, Massena's still on the power play. It comes in the Massena zone, and back there is Todd Manning to pick up the puck. Manning behind his own net now. Whoa, he takes it right in front, and then he flips it ahead for Mike Hewlett. Hewlett going to Adam Morris by him. That'll be an icing on Massena, and that'll move the faceoff right back into Massena Red Raiders zone.
The Ogdensburg team must, and coaching staff in particular, must be disheartened to come back being undermanned, both clubs undermanned, in fact, tonight, but pulling within 1 and then having that penalty, that major penalty that just the Raiders have responded like good hockey teams do with 3 successive goals.
Adam Morris will take the faceoff in the Massena zone. Massena, of course, can afford to be undermanned a little bit more than Ogdensburg can.
Exactly.
Morris will take the draw. Off the faceoff, it comes to Mike Hewlett. Hewlett takes it out to center ice. Here's Hewlett. He winds it up and fires it, and Basta makes the big kick save. Puck clear to the blue line. Adam cruising in front. Backhand. Oh, nice save by Basta, as Morris had that one labeled for the upper left-hand corner, and Basta snaked that glove out of nowhere and made the save. Nice save.
Beautiful save by Mike Basta. Another great move by Adam Morris, and I still think, and you and I agree, but we're not the officials, that goal at the end of the period went off of Adam Morris. They gave it to Jason LaBarge, but doesn't matter. The Raiders chalked one up.
Off the faceoff. Puck in the corner, or off the faceoff, the puck back to the point, I should say. Todd Manning shot right on. The rebound sits. Nobody can come up with it. Morris has it poke checked away by Axtell. Hewlett just got railed, but the puck's out to center ice. Swept away by Collins, back to Eddie Davis, and he's going to take it across. Or I thought he was. Now he does. He gets knocked down. Axtell with it, and he just flips it out to center ice again. We're down to 44 seconds in the penalty. Here's a shot from center ice. Basta went to play with a glove. It goes in behind him, and it's dumped down the ice by the Devils, and it's stopped by Massena goaltender Ramsdell. He leaves it for Todd Collins. Collins will start out left side of Ramsdell. Long headman pass meant for Kenny Smith. Or I thought he was coming on the ice. No, there's going to be a whistle. It's an icing. And I think that Collins thought Kenny Smith was coming on the ice. He came on, went back off again. And the net result is an icing to move the faceoff back inside Massena territory. Raiders lead at 7-3 with 12:42 left in the 3rd period.
That last Raider goal, Chris Aldis, is 6th of the season, and picking up assists Chris Cameron and Jason LaBarge. And again, that was a power play.
Face off to the right side in the Massena zone. Chilton back out there now. to take the draw. It comes to Aaron Barkley behind the net. Barkley starts out left side, takes it out, flips it ahead for Jason Labarge, goes by him, and again icing will be called on Massena. And we'll move it back in the Massena zone with 14 seconds left in the power play.
That one where you could put a dime over that same identical play, Jerry. Almost the same type of pass and a misconnection, 2 in a row for the Raiders. And as you mentioned, the face-off to the left of Mike Ramsdell, who was started here the third period in place of Dougie Cullen.
I don't know that he's had a save yet, has he?
Unless they credited that long dump shot that might have been wide.
Off the face-off, here comes Cameron. Uh-oh, here he goes. Busts right by the defense and stops in the corner to set it up. Wraps it around to Aldis. He's going to wind it in front to Chilton. He scores. Oh, what a nice pass by Aldis. Jason Chilton was camped at the doorstep, and Aldis wound up and faked the shot and slid the pass across to Chile, who I don't think has ever scored an easier goal in his life.
I agree, Jerry.
And that's the 4th power play goal on this major penalty, and there are 2 seconds left in the major penalty. Williams will be back, but I would think that we may not see him again tonight. I don't know, but that would be my guess.
I concur on that.
So it's now 8-3 for Massena. Off the face-off, Mark Tayo chasing it down. Penalty is up, and Tayo takes it into the corner. He gets tied up, gets knocked down. The bouncing puck controlled by Trev Brown. Brown has it knocked away, and out to center ice it comes. Todd Manning slides it to Todd Collins, and Collins' headman bounces by everybody, and they wave it off because that touched the stick. Good call by Bobby Preston that time. Puck in behind the net. Digging for it is Kenny Smith. He gets checked. The puck kicks free, and it's ripped around the boards. Racing in after it is Mark Tayo. Mark's had a pretty good game here this evening. And OFA dumps the puck in the Massena zone. Todd Manning in after it there. There's Manning with it in the corner. Has it knocked away. Oh, he just got railed by Williams. Williams trying to center it, but it goes off a body. And here comes Trevor Brown. Nice headman pass to Tayo. Tayo has it poked away, back out to center ice. Here's Trevor Brown with it. Trevor, he skates it across the blue line, flipping it through. He got railed. And the bouncing puck comes around behind the net. Out to center ice to Axtell. Axtell flipping it ahead. And to the Massena line it comes to Collins. Here's Todd. Nice pass. Adam Morris cranks it up. He misfired on it, gets it back. Circles. Here's Morris. Takes it in the slot. His shot, the save, the rebound. Oh, just wide. Oh, Mike. Oh, there's a penalty by the Blue Devils behind the net. And Mike Hewlett had a golden opportunity, and he fired it wide.
Golden opportunity, but did Trevor Brown ever get railed here? Justin Bateman just put a wicked lick on him. Good, solid, clean check. Trevor under full head of steam, going down, gained the zone, and beat one defender. And as he did, Justin Bateman jumped up and really dropped the shoulder in him, and Trevor's going to feel that one tomorrow.
No doubt.
Just after that, Mr. Bateman did something illegally, though. He picked up a penalty, probably a cross-checking. He's going to be in the sin bin.
Off the face-off, back to the point. In the corner, Massena on the power play again. Their power play has been extremely successful here. Goes in the corner to Labarge. Barkley keeps it in at the point on the missed pass. Goes to Aldis off his skate and back out to center ice. Now it bounces into the corner. It goes to Labarge. He flips it in the zone. Chile racing for it, but it comes in on Basta. And in the corner, as Basta holds on, we'll have a face-off right side. We are down to, 10:25 remaining in the period. Third period, Massena leading 8-3. Ogdensburg made it interesting, made it 4-3, but Massena's popped the last 4, all on the power play, all on the same power play, a major penalty, and the game is out of hand for the Blue Devils right now.
And a unnecessary and a foolish penalty at the time.
Off the face-off, Aldis to Barkley. He winds it up. His shot knocked in front. The rebound. Chilton, nice save. Basta, the puck free, and Cameron just couldn't get a shot. He gets checked into the boards, and the Blue Devils move it out to center ice. Aldis is there to cover it up. Circles back in his own blue line. Massena with a couple of real good chances right there to try and score. Bouncing ahead. Comes into the zone. Off the stick of Jason Labarge. Wraps around to Cameron in the corner. Chris Cameron with it. Steps in front. His shot. Score. And he caught Basta going to the wrong way. Again, what happened was Cameron came out of the corner and he faked like he was going to go right across the crease. Instead, he flipped it on the short side. He saw Basta out of position, and that's a nice, pretty goal for Chris Cameron. And that, I believe, completes his hat trick.
I think it does, Jerry.
And that makes it 9-3 for Massena. $9:55 remaining in the third period. Raiders back in command in a big way. Williams is back out there. He's going to center. And if anybody has to take the blame, you got to look at him. He broke a stick. Here comes Adam Morris taking the puck in. Oh, Dipsy Doodles in front to Eddie Davis. It goes just by him. Here's Davis back to Collins. He winds it up. The shot goes just wide. Adam going after it, and he gets knocked down. The puck comes into the corner. Bouncing around, Eddie Davis gets knocked down, and finally ending up on the bottom of the pile is Scott McCarthy, and we'll have a face-off in Ogdensburg territory.
His third of the evening.
Bit out of hand at times. Both clubs at this stage looking to put a lick on each other more than playing hockey. And again, with 4:39, you just want both coaches want this clock to run as fast, as few interruptions as possible, because
let's see here. Who's John Paul Fauché is keeping the clock. Maybe we could tell him to let it run a little bit once in a while. Huh?
Wouldn't be a bad idea. 9-3 with 4:39 left in the hockey game.
Face off right side. Inside OFA territory. Off the draw. Puck comes out to center ice. Here's Williams. John Paul Bovair, who's out there, checks him, and Todd Collins picks up the puck. Here's Collins skating by a check, flipping it ahead. Adam Morris got a piece of it. No, I guess he didn't. And icing will be called on Massena. Thought he got a piece of it. 9:23 remaining. Now the clock seems to have slowed down to a crawl.
That last goal at the 5:05 mark, Chris Cameron unassisted. Again, a power play. And as Walters noted here, that was his hat trick.
Our good friend Mac Schoen is here. First hockey game I've seen him at in a while. Busy man, huh? Yeah, you believe that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Off the face-off. Puck in the circle, comes right in front of the net. Bovair does a good job of tying up McCarthy, and Massena controls it. Out to center ice. Hewlett tried to feed it ahead to Davis, but is blocked. Now Mike comes in the zone, faked the shot, flips it right in front, but it's knocked down by the OFA defense, Frank Barr. And out to center ice it comes to Axtell, who flips it in the Massena zone. In the corner it goes. Todd Collins is there, throws a check, and Eddie Davis comes in to try to pick up the puck. It comes free in front, and it's fired just wide. That wasn't wide by too much. Of course, Massena with a little breathing room right now. They're not in as much danger as they were a little while ago when they were only leading by one. Here comes Williams centering it right on, and the save made by Ramsdell. And McCarthy rather, actually was the one who directed the puck on, but he didn't get any wood on it at all. And Mike had an easy save of it, and he holds on for the faceoff.
Couldn't get much wood on it because Mike Hewlett had him tied up like a good forward on the offside has to do. The puck came out of the corner to the Ogdensburg player who was positioned out in front, but Mike Hewlett coming back, and that was his man, and had him tied up. Good job by Mike.
8:39 remaining, third period. 9-3 Massena on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard. Off the draw, the puck comes to Aaron Barkley. Barkley in behind the net. He starts it out from Massena. Long headman pass right on the stick of Mark Tile. Tile flips to Trevor Brown, streaking in the middle. Brown has it knocked off his stick, stays with it, rides it around behind for Kenny Smith. Smith back to Trevor Brown. Brown, he's got Tile in front, can't get him the puck. He looks, circles, looks, centers it, goes back to the point, but nobody there but Blue Devils, and it's out to center ice. Comes into the Massena zone. It's going to come right in on Ramsdell, and he's going to steer it into the corner for Aaron Barkley. Barkley flips it by one, follows it, rips it around to Smith, to Trevor Brown, and Massena breaks out again. Here comes Brown, headman pass for Tayo. Mark takes it across, try to do the shift, but he's knocked off the puck. Comes to Brown, back to Labarge at the point. Nice quick pass to Barkley. He drives it, and the save made by Basta. Puck around the boards. Barkley again, centers it, and it goes right on, as a matter of fact, and Basta's going to cover up. And we'll have a face-off with 7:44 left in the third period. Raiders lead it 9-3.
Big shot from the point by Aaron Barkley. That first one, he really cranked it up, and Mike Basta is finally going to get some relief right now. The Blue Devils are going to change goaltenders, and it looks like Billy Sawyer is going to come in and play the last minute 40. Is that?
No, it's 7.
7, excuse me, 7:44.
I wish it was 1:44.
Yes.
No, it's 7:44, and I think somebody is, they're going to let him warm up.
Billy Sawyer played the first 2 games. He's another big goaltender. Both of them. In fact, they carry 3 goaltenders on this team, all seniors. Bill Sawyer is probably 6'1", 6'2", a good 180, and
he's not a bad goaltender.
No,
unfortunately for the Ogdensburg goaltenders, they don't get much support from their defense.
No, they could sue them for non-support, in fact. Running around out of position to some defensive breakdowns. And Mike Basta has had a full night's work. He had a full week's work here in 2.5 periods. That penalty that the Blue Devils picked up when they closed the gap to with 1-4-3 by Mr. Williams at the 13:42 mark in Massena. 4 power play goals.
4 power play goals. I don't know what the record is, but you don't often see that many on one penalty. Back to the point. Here's Manning's shot. He fired it, but not much too wide. The puck whistles around. Collins keeps it in at the point. In the corner, it goes to Chilton now. Right in front of his shot. He scores right through the legs of Billy Sawyer. And Massena goes up 10-3. And Chilton came out of the corner with the puck. Nobody picked him up. He had his way with Billy Sawyer and slid it right between his legs. And Chile picks up his second goal of the game, I believe.
I think Billy Sawyer read pass. Chile was looking to pass, looked to his line mate on the left side. He was covered, so Chile just slid one. It was a low, hard shot, but right in the between the legs of the 5-hole, and puts the Raiders in double digits.
Off the face-off, Todd Manning over to Todd Collins. Headman pass to Chilton. Here's Chile with it. Flips ahead to Cameron. Cameron goes to Kellison. Kellison trying to get the shot off. It's poked away. Back to center ice. Collins couldn't keep it in. Massena has to regroup here. Here's Manning with it. Flipping it in the zone. Around the horn it goes. In the corner is Chris Cameron. Cameron ridden into the boards. Bounces to the blue line and is picked up by McDonald out to center ice. His headman pass goes to Travis Phillips. Phillips dumps it in the corner, trying to chase it down, overskates it, and Chris Cameron picks up the loose puck. Here comes Cameron. Ahead to Chilton. Chilton overskates. The puck knocked away. Chile tries to play it ahead to Cameron. Cameron flips in the corner. Racing in after is Matt McDonald and Jason Chilton. Chilton steers it around behind the net. Controlled by the Devils. Axtell, he starts it out. Headman pass right on the stick of Travis Phillips. His shot from center ice is wide, and Todd Manning picks up the rebound. Here's Manning skating out of the zone. Here comes Big Todd building up the head of steam. He's just going to flip it in the corner. Ogdensburg zone. In after it is Bill Fox, the Berg defenseman. He flips it on the other side for Frank Barr. Cameron steals it off his stick, looks to center. Right in front, it's knocked down. Trevor Cameron, who's back on the ice for the first time since his misconduct, trying to poke at it, but goaltender Sawyer had it underneath his pad, and the faceoff will come in Ogdensburg territory. 6:10 left, Massena 10, Ogdensburg 3 on the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
All 3 meetings between these clubs this year, the Raiders have gotten into double digits. First game they scored 10, and the second time they had a dozen, and here tonight they've reached the 10 mark with 6:10 left to go.
Off the faceoff, Aldis from the point. Oh, that one wasn't too wide. Puck goes in the corner. Davis digging for it. Aldis now gets a skate on it. To the blue line, kept in, still kept in. Nice job by Mike Hewlett to keep it in. Hewlett, centering pass to Davis is knocked down. Trevor Cameron, he takes it back to the point. He's sprawled. The shot is knocked down at the blue line, and there's going to be, no, they clear it before the offside can be called. Now it's Axtell. Davis throws him into the boards. Axtell stays with it, drops it back on his point to Derek Bateman, and Bateman dumps it down the ice, but somebody touched it, so the icing is waved off. John Paul Bovair in behind the net, controlling the puck, gets by one check and starts out right side. Here's Bovair, stick handling out to center ice, backhands it ahead to Hewlett. Hewlett has it knocked away. Back into the Massena zone is Bovair. John Paul picking up the loose puck again. Flips it out to center ice just barely. And here comes Mike Hewlett. Hewlett circles at his own blue line, starts it ahead, dumps it in the corners. He wants off. Bateman in behind the net now, ripping it along the boards. Trevor Cameron steps in front, has it knocked away, and it's picked up there by Andy Wright out to center ice. Wright is knocked down by Cameron. He skates back across, trying to flip it through, but it's taken away back out to center ice. Poke checked, comes to Eddie Davis. Here's Davis with it. Backhands it to the Ogdensburg line. Right there is Cameron following up into the zone, takes it right down the middle, has it knocked away, and follows it in the corner. Dropping back to the point, Kenny Smith. And we have a whistle.
Oh, boy, I hope he didn't miss that one. I hope he got, yes, he did, because I didn't see the arm go up, but Derek Bateman just elbowed Trevor Cameron on the far side. Trevor had passed the puck back to his defenseman, and Derek Bateman never bothered to even look at the play. All he was looking was for Trevor Cameron, and he went in and elbowed him. And I didn't see the official put his hand up immediately, but they did have it, and that was a good call, because if they hadn't called that, I think that would have been just threw some gasoline on the fire.
Well, there's 4:34 left, and Bateman will be off for a minute and a half at least. Keep him off the ice and out of trouble.
Well, he was just looking for number 9.
And that time, Trevor did a good job to keep his composure. He didn't go after him, and now he's going off. And Trevor Brown will come out and take the face-off. Off the draw in the corner to Mark Tayo. Tayo in behind the net. He's got Brown in front. Can't get him the puck. Stays with it, though. Circles around, back to the point. Barkley, he's got all kinds of time to wind it up. And he didn't get as much on that shot as he normally does. And it was kind of a rainbow almost, David?
Yeah, I think 27 Travis Phillips got his stick on it. That's what happened, and
okay.
It was a knuckleball. Aaron cranked it up, but Phillips coming out to put some pressure on got a piece of it.
Face-off left side, Ogdensburg zone. Billy Sawyer is in relief of Mike Baston. He's allowed one here since he's been in. Here's Trevor Brown at center ice, takes it back in the zone, flips it in behind the net. Sawyer behind the plate around the boards. Tayo steps in front of it. Goes back to Barkley at the point. Barkley drops to Tayo, has it knocked away. And a good defensive play made there by Bill Fox. He's got the puck, and he's going to dump it down the ice. Jason Labarge back after it. In behind his own net. Flips ahead to Kenny Smith. Smith busting down the left side, takes it across the zone. Centering pass right down the middle for Tayo. He can't come up with it. Barkley, he kind of overskates it. Now he picks it up. Flips it over to Labarge. Jason at the 45, right down the middle, and Smith just deflected it wide. Puck in the corner now. Jesse Vow. He's ridden into the boards by Brown, and the puck slides out to center ice. Jason Labarge picking it up. Here's Labarge with it. Massena on the power play, incidentally. Labarge upended. Puck comes free, and behind the net, Vow. Stolen away in front. Here's Kellison's shot, and the save made. As Freddie had a good opportunity, but Sawyer robbed him. Now Tayo in behind the net. He's still got the puck. Finally has it knocked away. Brown throws a check. Val picks it up, flips it out to center ice. No, Barkley keeps it in momentarily. And now the puck comes back with a 2-on-1 for Ogdensburg. Bateman and McDonald right in front, and Bateman can't get a stick down on it. A nice pass by McDonald. Bateman didn't have a stick on the ice, which is why he couldn't get a stick on it. Now it's dumped back in the zone. It bounces up over the boards. And with 2:46 remaining in the third period, Massena continues to lead at 10-3 in the Bob Post State Farm Insurance scoreboard.
Tough game for officiating crew to do. The game's out of hand here in the third period, and both clubs looking to lay a lick on one another. And, you know, you're just trying to keep some sense out there with these two clubs and get this game in and out of the way in a hurry.
Collins, headman, knocked away at the blue line. Williams into the zone. Offsides will be the call. No, they wave it off. And Jason Chilton picks up the puck, skates right in front of his own net, and then flips it ahead by everybody. That'll be an icing on Massena. And there's the whistle. Freddie Kellison, though, went right after it. He really didn't have much of a chance to come up with it, but he still tried.
Well, Freddie has one style, and that's 100% ahead all the time. When he's out there, he gives you an honest effort every shift. He was the same way in football. Quite a hitter out there, likes to hit, and he's the same way in hockey. He works those corners, very aggressive.
Off the face-off. Bouncing puck to the blue line. Knocked out to center ice. Here comes Chili with it, trying to flip it ahead to Kellison. He can't get it to him. Instead, he's going to have to take it himself. He's ridden off the play. Following up is Chris Cameron. His shot is blocked, and back out to center ice it comes. Here's the shot from center ice, way wide. Todd Manning in the corner after it, flipping it to the blue line. And here comes Big Cameron. Uh-oh, here we go. Cameron busting in the zone right by the defense, takes it in front, his shot, and it score. But I think Trevor Cameron's going to get the goal. Chris directed it toward the net, but before it could cross the goal line, Trevor Cameron came in and poked it in. And Chris has got 3. That's enough, right? Trevor needs 1.
I'll tell you, if Chris Cameron paid Frank Barr $1 for every time he walked around him tonight, he'd owe him a lot of money. He just blew by number 3, Frank Barr, who gave up the zone and went right around him. Jason Chilton's really upset on the far side. We were going to comment on that before, and he came off the bench to get his stick. He got slashed on the previous play down there, and he came off the Raider bench after the whistle and said something to the Ogdensburg bench, and they've got something going over there. He and number 26, Scott Williams, who seems to be at the center of a lot of these controversies, he gave Jason Chilton a slash with his stick, and boy, both benches are really jawing at each other. Getting back to the goal, though, what a move by Mr. Cameron to go around Frank Barr. As you mentioned, Chris went around him. The goaltender made the save. Brother Trevor just came in and tapped. The puck was laying there and just tapped it about 6 inches over the goal line.
Chris working on, I think, a 6-point night now. I think he's got 3 and 3.
I don't know.
I'm not mistaken, but
11th goal, his first of the evening.
Was that a power play goal?
No.
I'm going to say they've had 6 already. 6 of the 11 have been power play goals, but
And to number 18, Todd Manning.
Well, there's only a minute 57 left, and that can't go fast enough.
no, again, that situation what evolved. It happened was a slash by Williams on Jason Chilton.
Off the faceoff, puck back in the Massena zone. John Paul Bovair is there to flip it around the boards for Chris Aldis. Aldis has had a great game here this evening. He really is. We talked about him before. He has turned out to be a super defenseman for Massena. Here's Bovair, and offsides will be the call as Chris Cameron got knocked across the blue line.
Yeah, it was a good. Chris Cameron doesn't think so, but
Or Trevor Cameron, I should say.
Mike Doe, as the Raiders were spread across the blue line, as Chris Aldis was dancing up the ice, weaving in and out, they were going to give him the zone, and had 4 Raiders spread across, and Mike Doe pushed Trevor Cameron offside.
Off the faceoff, the bouncing puck comes to Bovair. He stops, has to wait for his wings, then dumps it in the zone. Comes to the side of the net, picked up by Jesse Val. He rips it around the boards for Andy Wright, and Wright dumps it to center ice. Comes to Chris Aldis. Aldis ahead to Hewlett, hit the official. Val comes up with it, or tries to, has it poked away, gets it back again. We have a whistle. And I think we're going to have matching minors.
And this one will be Greg Coffey, I believe, and Trevor Cameron's at the heart of this one. And the Raiders, Trevor's teammates, Mike Hewlett in particular, are saying, okay, come on now. Forget about that, Trevor. We've got minute 13. We don't want to get anything involved like what happened to Sebastian Bergeron. Can't afford to lose you for a game. And
well, if things go according to plan, he'll be off for the rest of the game.
Yes, so. That's right. And we'll see the situation at the end of the game if these two clubs, when they line up. Let's just hope that maybe maybe today, and we're not going to speculate anything, but seems to be a little bit of animosity out here tonight.
11-3 the score. Massena really, except for a brief period when they were down 2 men and had 2 goals scored on them, have dominated this hockey game. Here's Jason Labarge across the blue line. Oh, nice dandy move. Takes it in front. His shot is deflected in behind the net. Mark Tile picking up the loose puck. Here's Tile with a minute left. Stick handling in front. In the corner now. Back to the point. Barkley flips it to Labarge. Jason trying to flip it free, and it's knocked away, and it comes out to center ice. Jason got a little bit too fancy that time and had the puck knocked away. Here's Mark Tile. Across the blue line. He's checked out of the play. Jesse Val flips it to center ice. Back down it goes. Travis Phillips makes one good move. He got by one, but not the second Massena defenseman. And Jason Labarge comes back the other way. Oh, Trevor Brown just laid a lick on the Ogdensburg player. Labarge trying his move again. It got knocked away. Comes to Tayo in the corner. Here's Mark stepping right in front. Nobody picks him up. Oh, he didn't miss by much. And the puck whips around the boards with 20 seconds left. Now Trevor Brown throws the check. It comes to Tayo at the blue line. Tayo trying to flip it to Brown. He follows it himself. Takes it by the check. Here comes Mark Tayo right in front. Stick handle shot. Save, and a good one. Tried to go right through the 5-hole, but the Ogdensburg goaltender managed to cover up just in time. Now Tayo with it as the buzzer sounds, and the third period ends, and Jason Labarge just got a wrap in the ankle.
Yes, he did. Number 13, Jesse Val, right at the whistle, gave him a shot with his stick, and I just hope, let's see, the officials over there telling Jason, okay, get to the line. They are going to shake hands. And
Scott Williams coming through first.
yeah, I don't. The coaching staff's right up there. Coach Sawyer's at one end and Coach Howard at the other.
Okay, here comes Bateman. And he and Cameron say, okay. And so far, so good here as they shake hands. Stan Moore and Timmy Long are there saying, okay. Massena wins it. They took the score off already. What was the final again? 11-3?
I think it was 11-3.
11-3 the final. Ogdensburg made it a game for a brief period in the second period. They scored, when Massena was down 2 men, they scored 2 goals, but then picked up a major penalty, and the Raiders came back and scored 4 goals in that major penalty to put this game away.